Today we've decided to harvest our pumpkins and squashes, and we do that generally when this little stem is kind of woody and looks dry. This is jumbo pink banana squash, and the biggest one I've ever grown of any variety of squashes or pumpkins. It's massive. I'm not actually sure if it's supposed to be that big, but we have a very fertile soil. It's a fen soil. We haven't used any fertilizers. It just grew so huge. We have a few smaller ones, but this one is just massive. Wasn't that heavy, so I'm suspecting that it's quite empty inside. This is the jumbo pink banana number 2. If anyone knows what it tastes like, please tell me, because I'm really hoping it's nice and sweet. I haven't eaten it before. I haven't tried it this year. I'm hoping that it's really tasty, like my Crown Prince, but we will see. This one is number 3. Basketball, apparently. There you go. Now, I have a few real pumpkins. This one is called Justynka. It's a Polish variety. It's a female name, Justine. Look, it's got roots, and this fruit has rooted in the soil. Yeah, that's quite clever, I must say. So this is the proper pumpkin. I'm also hoping it tastes nice. I also have Autumn Crown, which is a hybrid between a butternut squash and Crown Prince squash. And these are spaghetti squashes. I have a few. They look quite ready, and this is how I roast it and serve it. It just looks like spaghetti, basically. You just cut it in half, and when it's roasted you just scrape the little threads with the fork. I quite like them. Here I've got one plant of sweet dumpling. I haven't tried this one either. It's a small round kind of squash. Sweet dumpling. I have 2 from this one plant. I don't have much space, so I'm trying to put them wherever I can, but obviously they spread quite wide and there's not much space I can give them on my little allotment. These are Crown Prince squashes, my favorite ever squashes. I only have 7 this year, and this area is covered with this black fleece or ground cover, and this is what the squash looks like inside. Here I was making pickled squash and a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. So this squash is really sweet, really tasty, and really dense, quite filling actually. So like a little piece of that can, make your dinner quite filling. So maybe 7 squashes is not that many, but they will last. I'll make them last. Yeah, this is a hybrid, unfortunately, so we can't save the seeds, but this hybrid is worth it, definitely. So this area had a lot of bindweed, so I needed to cover it with something, because otherwise bindweed would choke everything I planted there. It seems to have worked. I have one jumbo pink banana growing here, and I've been just thinking, look at the size of it. Maybe it's supposed to be this size normally. I'm really not quite sure. Looking at the pictures on the seed company's website, they're kind of small, but mine are massive. Yeah, so you can grow quite a few squashes and pumpkins in a small area. This is my butternut squash patch. Not all of them are ripe yet, they take a long time to ripen, but some of them actually are ripe. These little ones, I think they're butterscotch. They're kind of small plants, so they finished early. I also have a pumpkin for seeds in this area. It's a pumpkin that has seeds not covered with a husk. So you can just cut it in half, take the seeds out, dry them, and you have pumpkin seeds. This variety is a Polish variety called Unona. And this is autumn crown. It's a hybrid, as I said, between butternut, squash and crown prince. I'm hoping that it's worth growing, honestly. Looks quite pretty. But as with all my new squashes, we shall see. I asked my husband to do something funny, and this is what he came up with. Slow motion. He's very funny, but yeah, I'm trying to use him for his humor. So this is my butternut squash harvest, and this is the Unona pumpkin for seeds. I only grew 2 of them. One is climbing up this little frame. It's still growing, but I'm hoping they will turn orange. This butternut has split from all the rain we've had, and the one next to it growing over this arch is huge, and there's another one in the compost bin. And this is my harvest. Now I just need to put it somewhere safe to protect from rats that have started eating plants on my allotment, and these squashes need curing as well for a couple of weeks. So my plan is to put them in the polytunnel initially on the shelving and then take them home. I store them in the loft. And Crown Prince, for example, it stores for ages. It stores until spring if we don't eat them first. But yeah, I'm quite happy, as you can see. And this is where I put them. And this is what rats did one year to a squash stored in the polytunnel. It was on the ground. So we'll see. We set the traps and we're hoping for the best. I still have tomatoes growing here, so the polytunnel is not ready yet for autumn plantings. I'm still harvesting. Bye!